hello and merhaba. Thank you for watching us at Cross TV. This is our first show and we're extremely excited. I'm saying we because I'm Karen and this is my husband, Tony, and we're going to do the show together.
Yep.
Yes?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
We first want to thank God for giving us this opportunity. And second, to Cross TV and Dr. Joseph to give us this platform.
Yes.
I am so blessed and thankful. So our first show, so what we're going to do is we're going to kind of introduce ourselves.
Yes.
And then we are going to talk about what we're going to talk about every week together.
Yep.
So I am Karen Hill. I am from Istanbul, Turkey. That's why I said merhaba. I've been married to Mr. Tony Hill for 20 years, and we've been married for 20 years. We met and we got married a month later. Yeah. We have two grown boys, almost 19 and 16. And one daughter.
That's my daughter.
Yes, that's his daughter. But hey, I love her. And we've been actually working together for 20 years.
Yeah.
God knew what he was doing. Yeah. We had no clue what he was doing. Mm-hmm. So we're doing good for working 20 years together. So I am a holistic nutritionist, life coach, a mom, a wife, a daughter, and God's daughter. And Tony can explain himself because if I start talking, you cannot stop me. So, and then we'll talk about more detail what we are going to look at.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I'll try to make it brief. My name is Tony Hill. Like she said, I concur with everything she said about, us being together and everything. But what I like for you guys to know, which is most important, is why we're here. The reason that we're here, we've done a lot of things in our life. We had a wonderful 7 years in Turkey and visiting a lot of places in Europe. And so this is a really awesome thing that's close and near and dear to our heart because we learned a lot, as we visited places like, Dubrovnik in Germany and France and Amsterdam and different other places, Switzerland. And other places. We really had Dubai. I can't forget Dubai. We love Dubai. But we had a very, very wonderful time. But our message was very simple. And it was like, change your life, change your health. Because you cannot change anything about your health if you don't first change your life. And this is what this show is actually around. We're talking, when we say life, we're talking about the life that my wife just explained, which is the basic foundation of why we are in front of you today, because truly she is my best friend, and through her, God is teaching me how to be the man that I am to be by being an example and first changing my life. So we're going to be covering areas like changing your life, like your foundational principle. Where were you from? How did you live? What mindset or what caused you to think the way you think? Why are you unhealthy now? What diseases does your culture bring by? So we're going to answer all these questions. How do you exercise effectively? How do you do it? How do you not do it? How long should you do it? When should you stop? When should you change your workout? We're going to answer all those questions, and we want to hear from you as well about what you're feeling, maybe something that you might want to know about, or maybe something you might, be thinking, or for a family member or whatever. We want to be able to address those things. So this is why we want to come directly to you in your home, and we want to let you know that we love you and we care about you 100% because God cares. And like my wife always says, that if you truly believe that God created you and this is his temple, then my question to you is, how is your house looking? And this is a very personal question, and we're going to address those. But in light of everything, I am actually been with her, as she said, but I come from a different background. God has taken me through some amazing experiences, and I just wanted to, she mentioned my daughter. My daughter's now 36, and I have to give her her props and to honor her today because she's an amazing part of my life. I had her early on in my life, and from that, she has taught me and motivated me to be a better father, a better friend, not only to her, but to my beautiful best friend right here, and my wonderful sons, Elisha and Isaiah. So, without further ado, I've been in the business for a long time. I don't need to talk much about myself, but I specialize in exercise mechanics, okay, injury prevention, injury recovery. I've dealt with collegiate, professional athletes, models, you name it. I was a bodybuilder, I was a power lifter. I've done all those things. I've been injured, and I know what that means. So I'm going to be talking about all of those things, while yet Karen is going to be addressing the number one issue, which is food. And also, what's near and dear to my heart is men. I'm going to be talking about us because we are the basic foundation by which all of this is put together. If you cut the head off of anything, then the rest will die. So I'm speaking to all of you men, and this is going to be a show too where you're going to hear from a guy like me. Currently, I'm 58 years old, and I think I have a little experience in life, and I just wanted to share, and then I want to really respectfully give it to my wife, because the bulk of the show, 80% of everything we are, is what we put into our bodies. But I wanted to say this too, that there's never been, as far as I know, any show about men that can honestly tell the truth about what we face from day to day. And so I want to come into your homes and to be able to share that and impart that to you men, so that maybe we together can work together and we can actually trust each other, and you can know that you're not by yourself, and that you know that no matter what happens, you are the most important thing in your home. You're the most important thing to God. So I just wanted to share that, and without further ado, what I like to do is pass it on to my wife, because she actually is, it's not that she talks a lot.
Yeah. Thank you.
No. She says that, but she tells me I talk a lot. But what it is, I want you to understand from her perspective, because I've seen her do some wonderful things. And the interesting thing about God and the gifts that He gives us is that I've watched her from the book of Leviticus, all the do's and don'ts. Even though the Old Testament is really rough around the edges, these things were designed so that God can protect us from ourselves.
Right.
And from that book, God has really touched her to be able to impart it to each and every situation. And she uses the same thing, and God takes that when they follow the instruction, and when they go against their own cultural principles as far as eating. And God begins to transform them and heal them through His word that He's put in Karen's heart and in her life. And not only that, but she has a whip and chain at home. So sometimes if I want to eat junk food, I kind of gotta hide, or say, honey, I'll be back. Or if I'm away and if I'm craving, and sometimes even when I want some things that I like, I hear her, in the background, and I have to come back. And the one question I don't really want to hear from her, and this is a question that really makes me incredibly nervous, is, honey, what did you eat today? Oh, I just have to say, well, honey, listen, I'm 58 years old. I got this. And
Right.
But really, just quickly, I used to have high blood pressure, and what happened is that Karen put me on a 10-day protocol, and I gotta tell you this, and in what I struggled with for many years in 10 days, to this day, it's been years. My blood pressure has been not just normal, but almost below normal. And my resting heart rate is sometimes at 55 and 56. And when I sleep like a baby. So I'm going to tell you that this is real. And I'm not just saying this because she's my wife and she's beautiful and she's gorgeous.
Aww.
And she's, but before I turn her over, I want a special shout out to my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, to my dad. because especially to her father and mother, Shauna and Garo, I love you and I thank you for developing a wonderful, wonderful young lady for my life. And I remember, Garo, what you told me when I first met her, that I cannot give her back to you. I remember
right.
that.
No
So,
return.
yeah, no return.
return.
So I'm hoping to stay true to my word, God willing.
God willing.
And without further ado, I take it. Handle, honey.
Well, thank you,
Yeah,
honey.
see?
Thank you. Wow. Well, I do have a scripture. First, I'm going to read the scripture. I wrote it so nicely because I'm so bad at memorizing. It's 1 Corinthians 6, verse 19 and 20. Or, do you know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own, for you were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body. And to be honest with you, I am shocked and so sad. I'm just going to be so open. See that how people treat their body, knowing that they hold the Holy Spirit in them. So I asked, we just came back from Istanbul, Turkey after 7 years. I am from there. My mom and dad right now still lives there. So that's my country. So I go over there, I look over here, and I'd say, we build churches, like those beautiful buildings, all glass and pretty and all clean and everything, but we build it. And we keep it so clean. And I ask people, I go, I said, when you go to church, do you throw your trash on the floor? They go, oh my God, no, are you crazy? Do you spit on the floor? Oh no, are you crazy? And I go, okay. Even when you go to Turkey, it's everywhere. We have beautiful mosques. And they literally take off their shoes to go in because that's respect. That's respect. But I go, how about your body? How about your body? Actually, literally, that's the temple. That's the church that not human created, but God created. So how dare we? I'm going to say we because I've done the same things and my husband has done the same things. We're doing better. We do crazy things also. We do. So how dare we not take care of what God gave us? Yeah. I mean, first God gave it to us, actually lend it to us for temporary so we can do his work. But then in order to do his work, you have to be strong. You have to be in peace, inner peace, hopeful, and no illnesses as much as you can. So you can be strong enough to do its work and literally be an example to other people. Yeah. Because if I cannot do it, and if I am a miserable Christian or a person that believe and trust, have faith in God, why other people would want to be like me? Yeah. I wouldn't.
Though, honey, that's a good point you made because sometimes even for me, when I'm being involved in the public, mm-hmm. we both are. What I get more response from is someone seeking after hope. Right. Than those who already have it.
Exactly.
And I notice something that when we go amongst those who profess that they love God, we get more resistance than those who are seeking.
Exactly.
And I think what you were saying is so spot on because, I think that if we, by showing God we love him is by taking care of ourselves. Now let's put aside all of the religious barriers and everything, and let's get to the brass tacks. The brass tacks is, listen, nobody wants to be sick. Nobody wants to live,
sad.
Yeah, and live a life of depression and all mm-hmm. this other stuff, and have to be on medicine for the rest of your life. Your quality of life is taken, and it's very ironic, and that what we try to do is we trust God, but we only call on him when we're in trouble. And then when we're okay, then we don't really believe, we believe the medicine. And so we become hooked on medicine.
Right.
But that's okay because God's grace is sufficient to cover you, so that's okay. But what we're talking about and what Karen is saying is we want to help you to understand that as long as you have life, you can heal. God created us that way. And this is what the show is going to be about. We have so much to share with you, so much to give to you. And thank you so much for that time, honey.
Oh, you're welcome. But so we can talk about what we are going to do here. We are going to talk about everything. We are going to talk about nutrition. We're going to talk about fitness. We're going to talk about kids' nutrition, family behavior, sleep, exercise, emotional well-being.
We're going to do some exercise.
We're going to do some exercises.
Yeah.
Actually, we will do exercises.
Yeah.
Yes, honey?
Yeah.
You promise? Give me a high five. You promise?
Okay.
That's a high five. Okay, see, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Okay, I will wear my gym clothes and everything. So,
Okay, you got me.
okay, we will talk about relationship, husband and wife relationship. We can only talk about our experiences, our testimony, and what we have gone through and how hard it is. We know how hard it is. I mean, and I'm going to tell this, I'm going to say this. If there was no God in our life and we had no faith in Jesus Christ, we wouldn't be married right now. We would not. We would have been divorced long time ago. But we worked on it because we all work in progress. So we have mistakes. Even raising kids, we have mistakes. We say sorry and move on. We do our best. So our thing is, we want to look at health, and we want to look at life, and be strong in it as much as we can. You know, I am like my husband knows. I am.
I don't know.
Yes, you do know.
Yeah.
I am like a research person.
Yeah.
I read books. Yeah. I go, okay, just show me and tell me, and then I believe it. I need to understand it. So that's how I did, and I read the Bible. And I really researched. I drove my husband crazy. So finally, there was a pastor came for one day to San Diego. That's when we were living. And he answered all my questions. And then I started reading the Bible again and again and again. And it is just so basic.
Well, I think too, honey, that, you know, just to interject something, if I may.
Sure, honey.
The reason that it has become so clear is because what I found out that, even for myself, is that if you look at the Word and the teachings of Jesus Christ, you find out that the teachings of Jesus Christ does apply. And I think that, you know, like it says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave. Well, in conclusion, without all the research, that simply means, husbands, you get married, you got to be ready to die. There is no option. So, you know, if you look at it like that, you can philosophize it if you want to. You can do a lot of things to that, but it is very direct. And what I can say to my wife, and giving her honor today, is that I've watched her, and she is a research person. Oh my God. I mean, me, if it don't have no pictures in it, my attention span that I need to see pictures, you know. But, you know, she is who she is, and I think my joy is as I learn to die daily, God reveals to me a beauty inside her that I could have never known in a lifetime, in a million lifetimes. And I say this, guys, not from a religious standpoint, but I'm talking reality. Does it hurt? Am I lonely sometimes? Do people understand me? And no. I mean, most of the time, I feel like Noah. Noah, you know, when God told him to build a boat, I mean, can you just imagine him going up to his wife and kids and say, look, I got to build a boat, but it don't rain. Hey, God told me. Okay, my family probably said, well, you're on your own. But the case is, the real issue is that what I have learned is that my life, my death, is to give her life and my son's life and my daughter's life. And because of that, God gives me the strength that I need to stand strong. And he tells me, go left, go right. And if I'm not, don't know, if I'm confused or frustrated, I look at Karen and I says, honey, what do you say? And her submission to God gives her the freedom to tell me the truth, no matter how hard it hurts. So when I watched her grow, she is growing because she has decided to do without question. Well, I can't say without question because she scratches.
I have a lot of questions.
She scratches
yeah,
all the way.
I do.
And God, this is the one woman I can tell you guys.
I do.
I can tell you guys all this. Everything she's asked God for, God's given it to her, literally. I'm telling
Not the
you.
way I want
Exactly.
it.
That's the hey, bravo.
Do you know, to that, what he said, my dream, my whole life mission has been to be able to get the message out of health and strength and be able to do God's work, but in a better vehicle. It hurts me to see it, and I always believe that whatever God gives you a burden, like you're like, oh my God, I feel so sad for those people, or I'm so grieved, or whatever, you are here to correct it. So that's my purpose in life. I know 1000% what I'm supposed to do. But I was saying, you know what, honey, you know, we're doing Facebook, we're doing this, we're doing that, but I want to get this message out to the world. And I was thinking, hey, you know what, I'm going to get something different and all that stuff. But look where I am. God gave me a total different platform. And I am so blessed
Yes, we are.
to be able to do that and get this message out through Cross TV. And, you know, he's right. He's right. You're right, honey. And
Really? Let me
yes,
write
you
that
are
down.
right. Write that down. That's right. So, but what I want to do, what we want to do is not I want to do. I say I a lot, but what we want to do is I do. Sorry.
I didn't teach her that. Okay, so don't.
We want to also be able to help you with your questions.
Yeah.
So I would say write comments, write your questions.
Yes.
We want to take like a 10 minutes from the show and answer questions. This can be anything about health and fitness and nutrition and kids and relationships and everything. So that's what we want to do.
And-
Yes.
Yeah. And we also, too, on the, if you have any questions for us, you know, you can see on the screen, you can reach us at www.tkfit.expert. And you can also on our Facebook, watch our YouTube videos. We're going to have those. And also, let's see, what else? There was something that I'm missing, honey.
Are you missing? Why?
Well, we do motivational speaking. We do travel. We do life coaching. So if you have a place or some place where you'd like for us to come, please contact us and let us know. And God willing, we would love to come out and speak to a congregation or whatever that God has placed on your heart. But in the meantime, I just want you guys to know that we love you. We thank you so much, and we thank Cross TV for everything that they've done. And this is from the both of us to you, that just remember this phrase that we say a lot: change your life, change your health. You cannot change anything until you first decide to change the life. Okay? So stay focused on that. Anything else, hon?
Yeah, and you know, it's a good, you know, I look at the society, the cell of the society, the most important part is the family. When you mess up with the family structure, you mess up the whole society. So if every family, when in my country we say inside the four walls, can take care of their own, if every family did that, the body will be extremely strong. So the kids, husband and wife relationship, illnesses, all that kind of stuff, if we all work on our own family, not someone else's, we are good, because then we are strong to stand straight and strong, and the new generation will come really strong.
Yeah.
But I believe that, I don't want to give credit, but he knows what to do.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He is messing up with the family structure. So we are all about family, even though it's so difficult sometimes.
But when she used the term he's talking about the evil part, the Lucifer, the enemy. And there's always good and evil wherever you go. So, but he has to do what he does. And sometimes it takes trouble to kind of help the other things grow. So we're going to leave you guys right now. And we want to say we're going to be here every Thursday at 3 p.m.